Thank you to all of you who have given feedback on what it is that you need the most right now. And the overwhelming response is that you wanted a video, a discussion on stress management. Now, I also was told by a few of you that you prefer a pre-recorded video because of different things going on with your schedule, and so that it wasn't always easy to tune into a live. And that's why I'm pre-recording this. But what I would like to do, and please comment on this video if this is something you're interested in, is to try to schedule a few live workshops where you guys can jump on and we can work on actual active issues. And that's where the benefit of a live is that it's a little bit more interactive and I can give you guys some more hands-on support. So let's get right into it. I want to talk about stress management, and I want to tell you from the get-go that what I'm going to share with you today on stress management is probably something you have never heard elsewhere. It is a topic that I have reflected on, studied, observed, dissected for as long as my career in medicine has existed, because I have always seen the tangible connection between stress and our health. And so it was important to me to really understand what it was and how to manage it. And I also recognize that a lot of the conventional advice around stress management honestly was just not enough. It fell short in many ways. Some of it was just, I think, just complete just not helpful. I'm not going to use any words that are too harsh. And what I'm going to give you today, I know if you can apply it, is going to change your life. And it's going to change your experience around the word stress. So I want to first start by telling you that my approach to stress and to, I would say, to most topics in medicine is always going to have two parts. I'm going to give you what you need to do with your body physically so that you can regain balance in your body. And then I'm going to give you what we can do from a mind and a heart standpoint. And I always look at everything this way because we have those parts. And a lot of advice that's out there ignores one and only addresses the other, and then it does not completely address the part that it's discussing. So I'm going to give you a complete, comprehensive, holistic advice on how to manage your stress. What is stress? Now, when I say or when I ask patients, are you stressed out? When they're filling out a form that's asking them to discuss their stress, what always comes up is all of the different things that are happening in your life, right? You're overwhelmed at work, something going on with a specific relationship, something going on with your kids or the struggles of raising them, something going on with a sick loved one, or maybe you're the one who's ill. Money issues. Those are the big things that if you think about right now, what you are stressed over is going to fall under one of these categories. And if you notice, it's always what is happening in our lives. And so I want you to consider the following question. Could there be somebody else going through something similar, but tell you that they are not stressed? And of course, the answer is yes. So if two people can have the exact same life events, life stressors in their lives, but one of them experiences it as a stressful event and the other one doesn't, is stress truly what is happening to us? Or is stress how we are experiencing the life event? And of course, the answer is it's the latter. So once you can grasp that paradigm shift, It's going to change the way that you move through your life. Because if you assume that just having things happen to your life automatically means you're going to be stressed out, then you're going to struggle. But if you understand that you have some built-in resilience and parameters that will allow you to experience anything that is happening in your life differently, then stress disappears, right? Because nobody has a life where nothing is going on. It's not what we came here for. No one wants to live under a rock. Even if it was possible, trust me, you wouldn't want a life where nothing is happening. And so how do we get our lives to a point where no matter what is going on, we can remain balanced internally and physically? And this is what I'm going to teach you today. So if you have a pen and paper, please pull it out. I'm going to give you lots of very helpful tips, and we're going to start with balancing your physical body. And the things I'm going to share here are probably things that you have run into, but it's important to address the balance in your physical body, because no matter how much work you do with the heart and the mind, if your body is asking for balance and for harmony, you're going to always kind of feel slightly off. So I want you to also pay attention to balancing your physical body. There are always the obvious ones, the low-hanging fruit, things like making sure that you are not creating inflammation in your body with the food that you're putting in your mouth. Inflammation is triggered by processed foods, by sugars, sometimes red meat, and that depends. But you definitely want to moderate red meat if that's something that you consume. And also, unfortunately, a lot of the chemical additives and the preservatives that are out there, if you can stick to a whole plant-based diet focused on your proteins and your vegetables and your fruits, then you're going to be able to manage inflammation. Dairy can also be very inflammatory as well. So nutrition and making sure that you are caring for yourself, see nutrition as self-love, is going to help you better manage your stress and just keep your body in balance. Exercising, and it doesn't have to be anything formal. I think in the United States, whenever the word exercise comes out, we almost all have a trigger. And it doesn't have to be anything formal. It could be your gardening. It could be you walking your dog in a brisk walk. It could be jump roping in the morning before you start your day. Sometimes that's what I'll do when I know that I'm not going to be able to have time to do anything more. Just do a quick 10-minute jump rope and then get your day started. So just making sure that you're moving your body every day is going to also help you remain in balance. Now, there are daily practices that I recommend anybody who is experiencing stress to start right away. A couple of physical things that can help you if you feel that you have a sense of overwhelm and anxiety. Make sure that you have an opportunity daily to ground yourself. And grounding is a scientific term that means connecting with the Earth's electromagnetic field. And so that means standing on the soil barefoot or the grass bare feet, putting your body against a tree. If you can't do that, especially now that it's getting colder, you can get a grounding mat. And there are hundreds of studies that show that grounding, or using a grounding mat, can help you heal. It can help decrease inflammation in your body, increase or decrease the pain that you experience, and many, many other benefits. And go ahead and look that up if you'd like. But if you experience a lot of your stress in your body, I recommend doing grounding every single day or sleeping on a grounding mat. Okay. Other helpful tools that you can use is a weighted blanket, and you want to make sure that you use the weight appropriate for your specific weight. So you don't want the blanket to be too heavy, but you also don't want it to be so light that it's not effective. And that has been shown to calm the central nervous system down as well. So again, if a lot of your stress is experienced as anxiety or tension, then a weighted blanket can also help you just kind of relax. I recommend that every single day you perform either a meditation or mindfulness. And what meditation or mindfulness is going to allow you to do is to just stop the train that's going 100 miles per hour with all the stress-inducing thoughts. And we're going to come back to those thoughts in just a second. But it allows you to give your body a break, your central nervous system a break. And if you can just do that for 10 minutes, if you're someone who enjoys meditation, go ahead and do that. And if you would like some links to some great meditations, I have created some. There are some also that I really enjoy. Just comment, please share your meditations, and I'll send you the links to that. You can also go to my YouTube channel, Becoming Yourself with Dr. Holda, and you can find some meditations there as well. Mindfulness is also an alternative, and that means that you're going to simply sit and focus your attention on something in the present moment. It could be on the sensation of your pen on the paper. It could be on a focal point on the piece of paper or in the horizon. It could be just closing your eyes and feeling the air on your skin. Whatever it is, you do not want to go into thinking. You don't want to start processing thoughts about the past or the future or things you need to do. You're just going to bring all of your attention and your consciousness, your focus on one of your senses, something that's happening right now. One practice that I enjoy is using a candle and just focusing on the flame. And you want to, again, give yourself at least 10 minutes of doing this. If you're very new to this practice, you're going to find that all of these thoughts are going to come up intermittently, and that's okay. Neither one of these is supposed to quiet your mind. It's just supposed to, it's not going to completely suppress your thoughts, but it's going to give you the sense of calm and stillness, which we need every single day. We cannot continue this cycle of waiting for the weekend to get our break because our bodies don't work that way. Every day you need at least 10 to 15 minutes of an exhale from everything else that's happening. Breath work is also a great way to calm the central nervous system. And I just recommend doing a simple one, which is what I call the 5-5-5 sequence, where you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the inhale. You're going to hold it at the top for 5 seconds at that same pace, and then you're going to release for 5 seconds. And just remember that the air is moving on the inhale and moving on the exhale. So you don't want to go too fast or too quick to the point where you're still counting but no longer moving the air. So try to pace your breathing so that you can move on that 5-5-5 sequence, and do that for 10 minutes and watch the amazing things that'll happen to your body. Even if you can do it for 5 minutes, which is the minimum I recommend for breath work, you're going to notice a difference, especially if you're having a moment where you're having increased anxiety or you just feel horrible, lack of motivation, you're just in the dumps. Go ahead and do the 5-5-5 breath work. So I want you to think about which of these daily practices you're going to implement every single day, use the tools that I mentioned, and then make sure nutrition and exercise are in place. Now let's move on to the fun things, which is how to get how to change your experience of what is happening in your life so that stress ends. I'm going to walk you through a powerful process that I give all of my coaching clients that I apply in my own life. And like I said, if you can apply this, it will change your life as well. The first thing that you're going to do is you have to first become aware of the story that you're telling yourself around that specific life event that is stressing you out. And you're just going to start by writing out all of the thoughts that you have around this specific stressful life event. The second step is we're going to do what I call a reframe and gratitude exercise. So we're going to take this same life event, but we're going to look at it from a different perspective. And then we're going to also list all the things that we are grateful for and all the gifts that this life event has given us. Every experience with all the thoughts that you just wrote down are real. None of them are lies. Sometimes what people tell me is, well, am I lying to myself by just looking at it this different way? No. Remember, every perspective is the truth. And that's why there are millions of them out there, right? Everyone, two sisters can grow up in the same household, have the same thing happen to them, and they'll have two very different perspectives. Is one of them lying? No. That is just the angle at which they looked at that event. So you're going to choose. You're going to apply your power to choose a different perspective, because the one that you're choosing now is not serving you. So I'm going to teach you how to look at the same event, but from a new perspective that you're going to be choosing, and then to also apply the gratitude exercise. Once you have done that, then you're going to go through what I call the release. And this is the part that sometimes is missing. Even when I find variations of this advice, that release is never shared. And you have to let go of all of that pinned up energy that was attached to the stressful thoughts and the stressful story. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. The easiest way to do this is going to be to take an example, and a very common one that I get from a lot of my patients who are often, working women who have very stressful jobs, very stressful positions, is that work is stressing them out. And they will have thoughts like, I am overwhelmed with all of the work, and I'm afraid that I won't do a good job, or that I'll fall short, or that I'll miss the deadline. And those thoughts, that story is stressing them out. There could be a little bit of imposter syndrome. There could be maybe some tension with some other colleagues, but overall, the overwhelm comes from the amount of work that they have to complete in a specific amount of time. So let's say that this is what you're going through. The reframing is going to be something that sounds like this. So after you've written out all of these thoughts that are causing you the stress, you're going to take a new sheet of paper, and we're going to do the reframe exercise. And it could be something like, they chose me to do this job. They trust in me and my skills, and they knew that I was capable of completing this work. I have all the skills and experience to do this work, and that's why I am here. Do you see what just happened there? Neither one of these stories is a lie, but you just changed the angle at which you are looking at the exact same life event, right? Yes, I have lots of things that were given to me, but that's because they know that I'm capable of rising to the occasion. I know that I'm capable of rising to the occasion. This is exactly what I wanted when I applied for this job. I wanted the challenge. I wanted the growth. And then the gratitude part is just to start thinking about what you're grateful for around, this job. You're probably grateful that you have the job. Maybe this is a promotion. You're grateful that you were recognized for that promotion and that you got it. You're grateful for the lifestyle that the job allows you. You're grateful for the colleagues that you have. The list can go on in very different directions. But ask yourself, what are you grateful for around this specific life event, and what gifts lie in whatever it is that's happening. And the gift, for example, could be, let's say you were given tasks that are very new and that are very hard, that this challenge is going to sharpen your skills and you're going to be even better at what you do. Okay? Just hearing this reframe and gratitude story already changes the experience of the stress in your body. Okay? But now we have to anchor and release. And what that means is you're going to do two things, and I recommend doing both so that you can really anchor this new story. The first thing is you're just going to close your eyes. You're going to do a couple of deep breathing, and you're going to visualize whatever it is that you need to visualize that implies that this new story is real for you. So it could be maybe your colleagues really congratulating you on a work well done, on how much there was so much work, but you really came through. or you looking back at everything you completed and you're really proud of it. Whatever it is that you need to visualize that will imply the new story of reframing that you have just written down. The second tool that I recommend also doing to help really with the anchor and release, meaning anchoring the new story, releasing the old, is to do some journaling, is to write out your new story and write from that vantage point, because you've practiced the old story so often that it just becomes second nature. Now it's time to practice your new story. And every time it comes up, and you'll know because you'll feel the stress rise, just say, there's that old program again. You have served me before. Right now, you no longer serve me. I let you go with love. And then go straight to your new story. If you start to apply this, I promise you that your life will no longer feel the heightened stress that society has conditioned all of us to have around everything. So let me know if you have specific stressful events that you would like some help on applying this technique, these steps on, and I can help you navigate that and what that's going to look like for you. Of course, if you have questions, comments, you want to share your own experiences, please do so in the comments as well. And hopefully we can have a live workshop where some of you can get on and we can do this live. As always, I am wishing you an amazing day. I hope that today is the day that you become your truest, highest self. And always remember that you should shine as if you were the one, because you are.